Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I have a camper trailer that I looked around on YouTube and on the Cherokee website and couldn't find anything specific to my Cherokee Alpha Wolf Black Label 274 BRBBL. So that'll be the title of the video, but this is a winterization video for that specific trailer. A lot of them are kind of universal. However, this is going to be specific, and that way, you know, people that have this one, that spent the extra money on a black label, won't have to worry about whether or not they're doing it correctly, because the only ones I've seen are the Cherokee Wolf Pack or Wolf Pup, or they're just like the run-of-the-mill ones. Either that or they're a couple years old. Not to mention, don't forget to mention, this is a 2021 travel trailer. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so like mentioned before, it's a 274 or 27.4 BRBBL Cherokee Black Label Alpha Wolf, or Alpha Wolf Black Label. So what you want to do first, and I've already actually done this, I'm just going to run you through the steps and just do kind of a dry run. But what I did is I made sure that all of my holding tanks were empty. So you want to go back, and it's all biodegradable. Hook up your black tank flush to the garden hose. Hook that up. Don't turn it on yet, because you want to come back here and you want to dump your gray and your black, any extra that you have. Typically whenever I'm done, the last time we went camping at the dump site, at the campsite, I always put a pill in the septic and then about a half a bucket of water so that it'll break up and slosh around and clean everything off inside the tank. And then next time I just start with a half tank, or 2.5 gallons of the orange shock in there. So that is totally fine. It's a rainy day here, so I just dumped it out in the yard. There is a little bit of a mess, but the rain will wash the rest of that away. That's just breaking down the septic tank toilet paper, which is fine. So go ahead and dump both of these tanks. Dump them, make sure they're done, close them up. Once you have your tanks empty, you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Make sure your fresh water is empty too. Turn on your water pump and come through. Turn on your hot and your cold. Run the air through the lines. Hot, cold, toilet, outside showers. In ours, we have an outside shower on the back side, back here on that corner, and then there's a kitchen outside just under this, which flips up in front of this window, and there's a little rinser in there too, a shower for rinsing your dishes off if you do dishes outside. Open that one up, make sure you purge the lines first. That's the next step. Turn on your water to your black tank flush and flush it out with water with your septic tank open. Let the rest of that flush and get out of there. Then close your septic. We'll turn off the water, disconnect the garden hose, and close your septic. Once you've rinsed out your septic and did your black tank flush, hook this air compression nozzle up to your black tank flush and set your air compressor to 20 pounds. This is the only air compression I do in this process. You'll see a lot of people run air compression throughout the system. I don't do that because you're gonna just go back and you're gonna run antifreeze through it anyways. So as long as it's pink, you're good. So here, you screw this on, and the reason I do air compression on this is because inside the tank, when you pressurize this or you put water through this, it triggers some spinning, like oscillating rinsers inside the inside of your black tank. It's like a dishwasher almost, and those hold water, and you want to blow those out. So once you blow those out, only use about 20 or 30 pounds of pressure, nothing more than that. Close this up, drain your tank, you're done. Next step, Come on inside your freshly cleaned camper. Take your shoes off or your wife will kill you, especially if it's raining outside. Take your bed out. Bypass on this one, there is a hole, which is freaking amazing. Let me move my mess here. This hole is an access port. You have your hot water bypass, and I don't know if we can see it. So you have your blue bypass and your red bypass right there. You just reach down through your bed and it's right there. If they're facing this way, then that means they're bypassed and the water heater is cut off. If they're facing towards the water heater, which that's your in-service mode, that means anything you put through these lines is going to go into your water heater, and you do not want your antifreeze to go through your water heater. I put purified water in my tanks. Every now and then we use it to make coffee. We don't drink it, but regardless, you don't want that. So make sure those are running parallel, not towards your water heater. Once you put those bypasses, both blue and red, in this position, there will be, if you look down through there, there is a series of pipes back in here, one of which is a white pipe that has this cap on it. So flip your bed up, reach in there, and grab that pipe. It will look just like this. I started making these units with a pre-winterized hose on them, so you don't have to buy that kit. It's like 15 bucks at Home Depot or Fleet Farm. You don't have to buy that kit because it's already prepped for it. And I'll try to get under here so you can see. But that hose runs down to that valve. And if you have the valve running this way, then this goes into your freshwater tank. So it's going to pump from that water pump out of this tank. You want to turn that nozzle up towards this hose and have that hose go in to your antifreeze. As long as your hose nozzle is up, then that means it's going to pump from your antifreeze bucket through your water pump and bypassing your water tank around that cool little clear hose on the outside, which is your outside bypass, through your hot water and back into the system. So make sure you flip that nozzle so that it comes out of here. I might want to mention, make sure that your RV antifreeze, I got this at Home Depot, is like $3.60 a gallon. Goes up to -50, and it is potable, as you can see on here, potable water and plumbing systems. You want to make sure it's potable because this is going through your water lines, just in case somebody does get it in their mouth or drink some of the water. You don't want to make them sick with non-potable antifreeze. And you can see too, I only went through about 2.5 gallons, and this unit is done. So after you got your line in there, you want to make sure that your water pump is on. And then you want to go through, turn on cold and hot, and make sure it runs pink and pink, and you can hear it prime. The first time I did it, it ran from all the way back there up to here, and it took about a full gallon just to get here. So make sure after you do your first one, if the farthest one away, that brings most of it this way. Everything from here back is going to be primed pretty quick because you just brought it all from up there and primed the lines through there. So don't let it get too empty. Keep an eye on it and make sure you don't get any air bubbles. When you hear it starting to cycle over and over, run back there and put the new tank on. Ideally, you'd like to have a second person just saying, "Hey, wait!" and you can shut off the valve, and then they can switch the tanks for you, put in the nozzle into the new antifreeze, and then tell you when it's good, and you can keep going. That way you don't have to run back and forth and back and forth. Anyways, primary sink is done. Do your bathroom sink, hot and cold. Do your tub, hot, cold, and then do your toilet and run it, and then stop it slow so that it catches some in the P-trap, because you don't want water to be in there, and then freeze, and then kind of freeze, dry rot that valve or the seal right there to the turn valve. And then what happens is in the spring, whenever you go to use it or de-winterize and you push down on this, it breaks the seal there, and it doesn't work for you anymore. You got to replace the seal. So anyways, flush, slow close, leave a puddle in the P-trap. So now that that's done, we'll go outside and we'll do the other showers. I don't have much left in the tank, so I can't demo these, but on this one, I did hot and cold, and then turned off the valve, put it in there, and then let this kind of leave a little bit in that hose. Next, came over here, and I did the outside shower. So once you bypassed everything, before you do your antifreeze, you could actually do your hot water heater. As long as it's bypassed, it doesn't matter if you do the antifreeze first and then this. I did this and then the antifreeze, but you do your decomp. It was still warm, so it's cooling down. It's going to build pressure, but you turn on your decompression valve. You take a 27 millimeter wrench and pull out your anode rod and let it drain. Check your anode rod. If it's too decomposed, then you need to replace it. This is only the first season, so I should be good till maybe halfway through next season. Put the anode rod back in, close your valve, and as long as that's bypassed, then you're good. The very last thing you want to do is take off your angle from your city water connection. If you have one, I suggest you use one. Take out your spring or your screen and depress that and let a little come out. Once you see that that's pink, you are completely done. Put your screen back in. Put your angle back in. And take it to storage. Once you have the outside and all your showers done, all of your faucets done, and you've got pink running through the veins of your beast, come back in here, turn off your water pump. Remove your hose. So this was almost 3 gallons. I got 4, but oh well, I got an extra one for next year. And so it was 2.5 gallons when we started the demo, and I went through another little quarter amount. So literally you only have to get 3 gallons. So don't overspend if you don't have to. Always good to have more than too little though. So put your cap back on, which I will put you right here while I do that. Try to get you an angle. Don't get it super tight, but it's like a PEX fitting on the end of that, so it snugs up pretty good and it's watertight. put the lid on your remaining antifreeze. And then turn your valve back. Actually, we'll leave the valve on that hose and just tuck the hose back in there where it was. And that's it. Now in the spring, we'll come in, we'll put some water in the fresh water tank. We'll turn that to suck from the fresh water tank. We'll turn that to unbypass the water heater. And actually, we won't do that until we cycle water through this and get it all out. Then we'll turn that on and flip the switch and fill up our water tank, and we'll be good to go for the season. But that's it. So hopefully that was helpful. It was a lot easier once I actually started doing it. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube. It is pretty universal, but I thought it would be good just to have one for this specific model. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video. If you like what you saw, I've got a ton of other mechanics videos. Like, subscribe, share the video, and good luck. We'll see you next season.